Yes.
today, brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm, the Best of Indiana County Contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. Good morning, folks.
Good morning, Todd.
It's good to have you both with us here today. Dr. Perez, I want to start with you, if that's okay.
That's perfect.
We are talking about skin cancer, and particularly something Johnny Bench was diagnosed with, which was basal cell carcinoma, which is a common type of non-melanoma skin cancer. This is pretty dangerous stuff we're talking about, isn't it?
Yes, actually, non-melanoma skin cancer is the big word of the most common skin cancer in the United States right now. And their most common is, as you say, basal cell carcinoma and cutaneous squamous cell carcinoma. If treated early, totally curable. If delayed, it can become invasive and can travel. So therefore, to prevent and treat, you should see your board-certified dermatologist at least once a year.
Now, who's at risk for it? Are young people or anybody who gets out in the sun too much? What's the reason, and who is at risk?
Yeah, I can tell you that everyone is at risk. The statistics say that light-colored people, light hair, light eyes, are more prone because they get more sun exposure, accumulated mutations induced by the sun. However, all of us get sun exposure on a daily basis, and even in people's skin of color whose non-melanoma skin cancers, the cutaneous squamous cell carcinoma is usually in covered areas, they are prone because of chronic inflammation. So they need to visit the dermatologist as well, because the prognosis or the outcome is important. If they go early, it's cure. If they don't go early, it can be not so good.
Johnny Bench, of course, for many, many years, you squatted behind the plate for the Cincinnati Reds. I would think spending all that time in the shadow of Willie Stargell with the windmill bat going there, that you were at least shaded some, right?
Yeah, Wilbur Stargell from Oklahoma, I like to say, because that's where I'm from. And, of course, Willie was one of my favorite people of all time. But, yeah, I mean, I figured 450,000 squats, but that doesn't include chopping cotton and peanuts out in Oklahoma in that 95-degree sun. So I think it's the fact that, hey, we look back at our history. What were we doing when we were young? We were at the pool. We were playing sports. We weren't wearing our big hats. We weren't wearing long-sleeve shirts. We weren't using sunscreens of any form. And we weren't doing the protection. And once I found out that I had a non-melanoma skin cancer under both of my eyes, right under the eyelids, and fortunately I was sent to a dermatologist who detected it, like Dr. Perez says, very early. He removed it through a process of Mohs surgery, and now I was cancer-free. But I continue to see my dermatologist, and that's why we want you to go to letsgetrealaboutSkinCancer.com, make a pledge to see a dermatologist. But since that time, I see my dermatologist twice a year, and I've discovered 2 other non-melanoma skin cancers. So that early detection, and I think what Dr. Perez, I love this travel. She used the word travel. Mm-hmm. It can go to other areas of the body. So it's just not isolated in one area. It does not affect just everybody of one color of skin. We all need to be aware of it.
How did you first discover that you had it?
I had some blisters under my eyes, and, it's whether it be a mole or whether it be a pimple or whether it be something changed in your body. There's a discoloration or you feel something different about you, and someone can look at you and somebody examine you. Self-analysis is a great way of doing it, but once I had the eye doctor say, hey, I don't like the looks of that, so it was just another doctor looking at me saying, you need to see a dermatologist, and thank goodness for that.
Hey, Dr. Perez, I remember going to my dermatologist a couple of years ago, and he said, you have all this skin damage. Do you know how much of that you actually caused when you were 6, 7, 8 years old? Kids are vulnerable too, aren't they? And what they do as young kids out in the sun can affect their later life.
Oh, that is very correct. 25% of the sun damage that you get in your skin is already done by the age of 18. So you already have done a quarter of your damage by your early adulthood. And you can imagine that you keep accumulating damage. Remember, it's mutations induced by the sun. So they are cumulative. The more you get, the more mutations you get, the more prone to skin cancers you are. So it starts early in life and can continue to late in life.
Johnny, when you go to the dermatologist and they go over your skin in ways that obviously you can't see visually, I'm sure that you now have expectations that if something's there, they're going to find it, aren't they?
Yeah, and it's so simple. I mean, I go in, they're checking my scalp. They're, if they've got the spray, they do some freezing. But then you find areas all of a sudden I'm going in, and I said, well, what about this? He said, no, I don't. That's fine. This is a problem. Then I go in and I'm checking. I got a little mole over here, and I said, is it a discoloration or is it a problem? No, that's not it. But this right here worries me. And he goes in and does a biopsy, finds out it's a non-melanoma skin cancer. The next day I had it removed. It's not always that easy if you have a great relationship with your dermatologist, which means that you go twice a year. I think it's a great opportunity. And Regeneron, a healthcare establishment that wants to be involved with Let's Get Real About SkinCancer.com, let's just find out how we do it. See that good. And Dr. Perez will say, you can just go to look up orthopedics. I mean, look up a dermatologist. Look up all the things, and you will find doctors wherever you are. Let's say Pittsburgh. You got to go to Pittsburgh, Dr. Perez? Plenty in Pittsburgh, right?
Plenty.
Todd probably even know it. Todd, have you seen your dermatologist?
Hey, every 6 months, baby.
Okay.
Taking the pledge.
Tell me the website again.
Let's Get Real About SkinCancer.com. And isn't that the truth? Let's do get real.
Yeah.
What we're doing, and this is my second year to be able to go around the country and make people aware of this and make people more aware of it. And thank goodness for Pittsburgh and your radio station at WCCS. It's an opportunity for them to get out and may be aware of it. And we need to get more dermatologists involved with this as well, because they need to give you an opportunity and a chance to come in and see them.
Absolutely. Let's get real about SkinCancer.com. Johnny, the Reds are doing okay. The Buccos are starting to come back, too. It's not quite the 70s, but we're trying, aren't we?
Yeah, it's never be the 70s, but it's been an interesting year. And, like you say, these ball players out there, and they're getting smarter. You see them wearing more protection and everything else. Baseball players are getting smarter about it. You see the kids at the pool being lathered down by their parents. I used to laugh at it. Now I'm very proud of those parents for doing it, because you mentioned, and Dr. Perez says, by the time you're 18, you're already susceptible to this. So it's a great opportunity, and baseball will be king, but it can also, old age and sunshine, and you come up with BCCs, and you get it protected, you get it taken care of, you get it treated, and then you're the smartest guy on the field.
Dr. Perez, Johnny Bench, thanks so much. Let's get real about SkinCancer.com. Have a great day today.
You too, Todd.
You too. Thank you.
It is the voice of Indiana County. It's WCCS 101.1 FM, AM 1160, and WCCSradio.com.